If you had not have fallen, I would not have found you. Angel flying too close to the ground. And I patched up your broken. Hey friends, how's it going? This is David Potts with Song Notes, and today, finally, I am bringing you a lesson for Angel Flying Too Close to the Ground. Fantastic Willie Nelson song that I'm very excited to make a lesson for. So here's what I'm going to cover today. First up, I'm going to look at the structure of the song. And even though there's a bunch of verses and there's some solos, I really want to drive home the fact that there are just these 4 chord progressions. And these are used for all the verses and all the solos, okay? And then I'll talk about the chords you need. A lot of them are standard chords in the key of A. Then there's some of the cool stuff like the arpeggio stuff that you hear in the beginning, if you had not have fallen. I'll sort of talk about how to approach that. And then finally some of the walk-ups and the walk-downs. So that's what I'm going to cover. Jump ahead if you know what you're looking for, but otherwise, let's get into this lesson. So, structure of the song. Bird's eye view. I want you to understand that there are these 4 chord progressions, okay? And we go through verse 1 uses the first progression, verse 2 uses the second progression, verse 3 uses the third, verse 4 uses the fourth. Then we move up to the solos, which use the first and second progressions. Okay? And then the final 3 verses basically use the third, the fourth, and then the fourth again. Okay? So again, you memorize these progressions, and it might seem like a lot, but there's a lot of similarity to them. For example, you'll notice they always start on A, they always go to C sharp minor second, they always go to D third. Okay? Sometimes you stay on D for a couple measures, other times you're going back to an A, and so forth. And if you really know the song in your head, it's a lot, it comes pretty quicker than you'll think as far as remembering what goes where. Okay? So again, you can check out my website if you want to find a printout or find this written up in a way that you can sort of have with you outside of this video. So that's the structure, and just keep that in mind as we dive into the songs. Now, chord-wise, what are we going to need? So we'll need an A chord. Okay, that's like the key of the song. So that's your sort of home bass and your starting bass and everything. We'll need a D and an E. Okay, these are pretty standard. I'll assume you kind of know these chords. Now, the trickier ones here, a C sharp minor. This is a bar chord, and it's basically the same shape as a B minor. If you know B minor, all you're going to do is move B minor 2 frets higher, and you have a C sharp minor. So that's 4th fret, 6th fret, 6th fret, 5th, 4th. So 4, 6, 6, 5, 4. 4, 6, 6, 5, 4. And that's only on the thinnest 5 strings. Okay, that's a C sharp minor. Then there's a B7. Now, I think sometimes he is using an actual B7. Other times, I wouldn't be surprised if he's using an actual B, whether you play it on the 2nd and 4th fret or up here on the 7th and 9th fret. But I use the B7 for everything because it's just an easier chord to play. So it's 2nd fret on the 5th string, 2nd, 1st, 2nd, open 2nd. Okay, so that's your B7 chord. Now the last tricky one here is this D sharp diminished chord. So basically, I'm going to teach this relative to the D because you're going from a D to this chord, okay? So what's happening here is you have your D chord. Now to switch to this D sharp diminished, basically you're going to want to do, on the thinnest 4 strings, you're going to want to do 1st, 2nd, 1st, 2nd. Now I'm playing that here by basically doing my index and middle fingers on the 1st fret, and then my ring and pinky fingers on the 2nd fret. What you can do though is bar the 1st fret on the thinnest 4 strings, and then use your middle finger and ring finger on the 2nd fret notes. It's up to you, but you really want to make sure that bass note is really ringing clean. Because in the song, you're going from a D major to this D sharp diminished. And so you really want to capture that ascending sound of going from the D to the D sharp, D to the D sharp. practice it, I really recommend going from the D to the D sharp, diminished, and then back to the D, and just do that over and over again, okay? That'll really create a real world scenario, because you're never just, when you take all the time in the world to get your fingers on a chord, that's how you should start practicing it. But once you know you can play it, you need to be able to practice getting to that chord in a clutch situation, right? Like you're only going to have so long to do it during the song. So recreate a sort of microcosm of that real world scenario where you have to go from a D, I will still remember, okay? So that's probably the trickiest chord, or the C sharp minor might be the trickiest chord, or maybe the B7 is. But otherwise, you use the chords I just showed you, and you'll be good to go. So let's move on into some of this other stuff here. Okay, now for these arpeggios, basically we're going to look at the C sharp minor first. An arpeggio technically is just basically you're kind of walking up and then walking back down, right? Now what Willie's doing is he's sort of being more free. He's kind of going up and then down, and then up and then down, okay? But he's jumping around, and there's no right way to do it. It sounds like he gets the thinnest string. Okay, you can do that if you want, or you can keep it on the middle 4 strings. Okay, it's up to you. He also does it on the A. Okay, I like to keep it in the middle 4 strings usually. And then there's the E. Again, it's up to you. You really just want to, the main point here is you're not doing a straight strum, and you're not just kind of doing a bunch of little strums. You're just kind of doing, some free brushing of these strings to really create a nice peppering of sound for that chord. So he uses that in this first verse. Here's a playthrough of that verse that I did, and follow along with my tab if you want to play it like me. If you had not have fallen, I would not have found you. Angel flying too close to the ground. Now, after the arpeggios, let's look at the strumming. Now, for the whole song, I like to keep it really simple. Now, if you listen to Willie's version, there's no real discernible strumming, because he has his band with him. He's sort of doing a mix of his lead and his rhythm stuff. And, for a solo acoustic version, I just prefer to do it down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, okay? So leave me if you need to. Down, 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 up, down. I will still remember. Down, down, up, down. Okay? So that's one way to do it. So sometimes when I play this song, though, I do like to accent the bass notes. Down, down, up, down. Down, down, up, down. Down, down, up, down. The cool thing about this is it really makes those sort of those key bass notes a bit more distinct. If you're just doing full strumming and you really want to do a walk down, those bass notes are coming out of nowhere when you do a. And maybe that's good, maybe that's the sort of sound you want, but if you do a strumming that has those bass notes baked into it, then the bass notes become something the ear is expecting to hear when they listen to you play, right? So it's up to you whether you want to do just accent individual bass notes or just do full strumming of all the strings at once. It's totally up to you. It's your choice. So next and finally, let's look at some of these walk-ups and walk-downs. So the most recognizable one would be this, you go down to an E and you go. Okay, you're on the E and open, 6th string, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret, and then A. Okay, now this is a simplified version of it. The key, though, is you really want to make sure that your timing is just organic and raw as hell. You don't want to be. That would be too by the book. And Willie in general is not one to be boxed in with his rhythmic playing, even his lead playing. He is sort of weaving in and out of the beat. So try to inject that into there, bend the notes if you can. Okay, so that's the key one. I think is really cool. The other ones you'll have are you'll be going from an A to a B7. For this one, index finger on the first fret of the 5th string, and then middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string for your B7. So, okay. Sometimes you'll go from a D down to a B7. So your middle finger there will go to the 4th fret of the 5th string and then down to the 2nd fret of the 5th string to take over duty as the bass note of the B7, okay? Okay, so those are the walk downs and walk ups you'll need for this song. So if you want to hear me put everything together, here's a playthrough I did of the first 4 verses. So check this out. If you like it, let me know. If you want me to do a full cover with a bit more practice, let me know too. I would love to do that one day. So otherwise, thanks for watching. Bye-bye. If you had not have fallen, I would not have found you. Angel flying too close to the ground. And I patched up your broken wings and hung around a while, trying to keep your spirits up and your fever down. I knew someday you'd fly away. Well, love's the greatest healer to be found. So leave me if you need to. I'll still remember. Angel flying too close to the ground. But otherwise, these are the core building blocks you'll need to play this song. You know, you got the structure, you got the chords, you got the strumming pattern, you got the arpeggios, you got the walk-ups and walk-downs. You know, not doing the solo in this video, as I said, but basically with this, I think you can really get started with this song and have some fun with it. So please let me know how this lesson worked out for you and if there's anything I missed. So again, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Like this video, tell a friend, and let me know what other songs you want to hear lessons for. But in the meantime, have a good day, good luck, pick up that guitar and play. Bye-bye.